Right. A very good morning to all of you back in Sri Lanka. I hope you can hear me well, if that's okay. Thank you, Father Mark, Subwarden, Headmistress, Miss Sonia as well, and everyone who joined today, all the students, and also ISAM for this wonderful opportunity. It's been a long time since I was back in school. I technically graduated in 2017. Uh, been to Sri Lanka about 2 years ago, so it's a wonderful opportunity to talk to all of you back at St. Thomas's, and also we have here today my friend Devanka. Devanka, do you want to do a small introduction?
Yeah, it's a wonderful opportunity to really speak before you guys. Thank you once again for this opportunity. My name is Devanka Gunwardana, and over to you, Ashin.
All right. So thank you everyone for joining today. So this webinar will be about you potentially trying to come to Japan and study at APU, but also it gives you some brief tips about your higher education, what you need to prepare in order to seek a scholarship or else seek a better opportunity outside of Sri Lanka. So without further ado, the contents for today will be as follows. We'll do a small self-introduction. I'll be talking about my experiences at St. Thomas's College, my experiences at APU, balancing my studies and my extracurricular activities, sports, preparation and execution. And later on, after my session, Isang, the representative of APU, will tell you all as to how the application process and the scholarship opportunities at APU works. All right, so before we jump on to the main content, I'll just give you a brief description or a brief statistical overview about Japan, primarily because I live in Japan. So Japan is basically the third largest economy in the world. It's just behind United States of America and China. It has a GDP of $5 trillion, whereas Sri Lanka has 84 billion. So Japan is about 5.5 times the size of China in terms of in the size of Sri Lanka in terms of GDP. The GDP per capita income is 40,246.88 US dollars, whereas Sri Lanka is 4,000 USD. So on average, a Japanese person earns more than 10 times what a Sri Lankan earns. Tokyo is also the most populated city in the world, along with the lines of New York, London, Melbourne, and Sydney. So Japan obviously has infrastructure facilities that supports its people. And also it hosted the 2020 Summer Olympics successfully amidst the pandemic and also the 2019 Rugby World Cup. Also, there are a lot of Fortune 500 companies, multinational companies that do exist in Japan, such as Toyota, Honda, and Mitsubishi. So that's a glimpse about Japan as a whole. Next, about a small personal background about me. So my name is Ashin Francis. I'm 24 years old. I graduated from St. Thomas's in 2017. Currently, I'm a student at Lankan Asia Pacific University, and I was the head prefect in 2016 and 2017. Devanka, you want to give a small introduction?
Yeah, so just as I mentioned, my name is Devanka Gunwardana. I'm 22 years old, and I graduated St. Thomas's in 2019. I'm also a current student of Lankan Asia Pacific University, and I was a college prefect in 2018, 2019. So yeah, nice to meet you guys.
Okay, thank you, Devanka. So basically, I'll be talking a bit about my experiences at STC. First and foremost, I was the head prefect in 2016 and 17, and I got the Bishop James Chapman Medal of Honor, first recipient, and the Victoria Gold Medal and the Bronze Gold Medal. So obviously, as you can see, it's on the high end, but it was definitely a lot of hard work and resilience put in. So I just want all of you students who are there today to understand that if you do put in the hard work and if you do put in the effort, anything is possible. You just need to believe in the correct process and know that there's opportunities waiting for you outside of college, outside of St. Thomas's, where you just have to grasp the opportunity. A few other things is I played, like Father Mark said, I played for Heymans, Dr. Al Heymans, and I was the only player to start and win from 2013 to 16. Few of the challenges that I did face was in 2016, my final year, balancing both my academics and sports. But later on, I was able to do that. So I was able to get 2As and 1B from my A-levels, play for Sri Lanka, captain the Sri Lanka youth team. So basically nothing is impossible. You just have to put in the correct effort, believe in yourself, and know that there is a lot of opportunities waiting for you out there in order for you to go and reach for the stars. Okay, few of the international achievements, highlights of my college career, I would say at St. Thomas's was I was a member of the national team. I was a captain of the youth team of Sri Lanka water polo in 2016, and also a member of the national swimming team. But moving on, I think the main content for today is about you're trying to pursue your higher education after your advanced level in Japan at Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University or anywhere outside of Sri Lanka. So brief overview about Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University. It's known as APU. It's located in the Oita Prefecture, which is about 1 hour flight from Tokyo. So the good thing about Oita is basically it's less crowded. Tokyo is supposed to be really crowded, but then in terms of infrastructure and development, I would say it's the same. Japan all around is the same. They have all the facilities and everything at your fingertips. So Ritsumeikan Asia Pacific University is known for its diversity. As Father Mark said, it's one of the top universities in Japan. Primarily because it has a ratio of 50% domestic students and 50% international students. So what this does is it gives you an opportunity to mingle with both Japanese students and also international students. I have a lot of students from foreign countries, Indonesia, Vietnam, Australia, United States. So you name it, it's there. A statistical overview is that there's more than 5,500 students from more than 90 countries studying in this particular university. So you are more likely to have an international friend, whether you like it or not. So APU has two major schools, namely College of International Management, which is known as APM, and College of Asia Pacific Studies. So for those of you who are studying business, APM is the option. You have four options, which is strategical management and organization, finance, innovation and economics, and other one I forgot. So yes, innovation and economics. And College of Asia Pacific Studies also has four options. So it focuses on IR, environmental studies, culture, and media. Okay, so I'll share a bit about my experience at APU. First and foremost, for those of you who are interested in the business school, you need to understand that APU is an AACSB accredited university. This accreditation represents the highest standard of achievements for business schools worldwide, which accumulates to the top 10% of the business universities worldwide. Overall, Japan has about 6 or 7 universities that has this accreditation, but as of my knowledge, Sri Lanka has 0 for now. But what you will understand is that once you do come to APU, you'll be exposed to very high intensive classes of business learning. You'll have various business case challenges, on-hands experience, and then you'll be able to also take classes related to different areas in the business field. For example, I major in strategical and organization management, but I also minor in finance, where I study about the stocks, stock market, and the financial market. Another highlight of APU is that it offers a program called International Student Exchange, which I'll be talking about later on. This is an opportunity for any student to study in a foreign university in a foreign country for a period of 6 months or 1 year, paying the same scholarship, paying the same amount of tuition. So there are a bunch of universities in United States, in Europe, and all around the world, which I'll be talking on later on. But that is something you should definitely look forward to. And there are also scholarship opportunities apart from your tuition reduction scholarship. Personally, as Father Mark mentioned, I got the Andamom scholarship. So this scholarship is awarded to a student which exemplifies leadership, charisma, and strong academical strength. So here you get an external amount of 5,000 US dollars one time, which you can use for your further research or for what you're passionate about. So I was fortunate to receive it 3 times. And this time when I graduate in this September, I'll be the valedictorian for my batch. All right. So moving on, we are going to give you some simple advices about what we face as students in Japan. And Devanka will talk firstly about the language.
Yeah, thank you, Ashin. So regarding the language, I think most of you want to know about how you learn Japanese. And I just want to remind each and every one of you that it is compulsory to learn Japanese for your first year. So how it works is in your first semester, you will have foundation courses 1, 2, and 3. And then in your second semester, you have intermediate Japanese. And I think this is a really good way of meeting a lot of people from other countries, but also while learning the language, because it is tough, but it is really fun and it is easy once you get it going. And I personally learned a little bit of Japanese just before I went to Japan, and that actually helped me quite a bit. And yeah, and APU offers a lot of language immersion programs, so it does help you really understand the language by just hearing, by just listening to how people converse. And also, we have something called arubaito, which is a part-time job essentially, and that's where most people, most international students go to really practice their Japanese. And it's really fun, challenging, and it really makes you more independent in the way you carry yourself. Because in Japan, especially in Beppu, there will be a lot of places where they don't speak English, so you have to get around with speaking Japanese. And it's quite an interesting language once you get to learn it. And yeah, the opportunities are endless here. So yeah, really encourage you guys to take it seriously and learn it. Yeah.
Thank you, Devanka. So moving on, I'll speak a bit about the traditions. So Japan per se is known for its timeliness and discipline. You're more likely to be disciplined if you live in Japan because the culture itself supports you to do so. So the picture on the left corner at the bottom is a high school where I train water polo. So as you can see, their bags are really in order, their shoes are really in line, and it just comes out of you naturally. So in the initial stage, it might be difficult for you to adapt to this culture, but later on you'll start to value time management, coming 5 to 10 minutes before meeting, so those stuff like that. So that is something that you should look forward to, being more disciplined and understanding that the culture that exists in Japan is based out of respect. And Devanka will talk about food.
It's my favorite topic. Yeah, Japan has quite a large array of food, I would say. As you can see from like the two pictures, that's very famous. I'm sure all of you know this from Naruto. This is ramen on the left side, and then on the right hand side you get sashimi and sushi. And you'll find a lot of seafood dishes in Japan, but in Beppu as well. But they have a wide variety, like okonomiyaki, which is described as a Japanese pizza, but it's made out of vegetables. And yeah, there's a lot of dessert options too, like mochi, which is like a rice flour based dish with red bean paste or like fruit flavorings inside them. And I think all of you would be relaxed to know that there are international food chains like Moss Burger, McDonald's, KFC. They have the usual stuff here in Beppu, so you won't feel left out. And if you want to feel a little more at home, there are Indian food restaurants, but there are two Sri Lankan restaurants actually in Beppu as well, which are quite good. So yeah, I think your palate would be quite excited to really taste the different cuisines that Japan has to offer. So yeah.
Thank you, Devanka. So I'll speak a bit about the opportunities that do exist in APU. As I mentioned before, one of the main opportunities that is offered at APU is the International Student Exchange Program. So here, like I said before, you have the chance to go to a foreign country and study for a period of 6 months or 1 year. The takeaway here is that you pay the same tuition reduction scholarship. So for example, if you're on 100% scholarship, it means that you pay zero to go and study at a foreign country. A few of the big universities is San Diego State University, Copenhagen Business University, University of Melbourne. So it's all over the world. So if you do want to pursue that option as well, it's there. Personally, for me, I went to Austria and I studied at Management Center Innsbruck because I wanted to pursue my career or my passion of water polo. How this worked was APU offers you to take a test, or like you need to show strong academic performances and also extracurricular activities. So I got the opportunity to represent the state of Tyrol when I was in Austria. I played in the professional Division 1 water polo league and was also able to win a gold medal. So the takeaway here is that if you really want to pursue your passion, or if you want to go to a foreign country, whatever it is for reason, you have the opportunity to do so. And this is one of the best programs that APU offers. A few of my highlights during my APU career or APU life is that I got the opportunity to intern at Tokyo Bloomberg. So Bloomberg is the leading financial service company all over the world. It's renowned for its services, not just in Japan, but anywhere in US, in UK, or in Australia. So this really gave me the opportunity to speed up my career, not just in Japan, but if I do want to work anywhere else in the world, this would definitely be a benefit. Also, I got the opportunity to volunteer at the Rugby World Cup. So for those of you who do know rugby, as you can see in the middle, it's I have a picture with Gordon Barrett. So there are a bunch of opportunities. You get exposed to multicultural and multinational events. So it's about understanding and seeking what career opportunity and what you want to really pursue. Also, I'll be the valedictorian for the graduating class, like I mentioned before. So this is an honor to represent the undergraduate class. It's an opportunity to represent my high school, St. Thomas's, and also my country. To be the valedictorian, it's an honor to speak in front of more than 2,000 graduating students. So I guess those kind of opportunities do exist. And further, I think the key takeaway from my APU life is that after you graduate from university, there are lots of opportunities that you do have, that you can work in Japan. So I personally will be working at the largest staffing and recruiting consulting firm from 2021, which is called Allegis Group. Therefore, there's been a lot of Sri Lankan students and also other APU graduates who have worked at Toyota, Honda, Mitsubishi, and all those big Japanese companies. So there are opportunities like that, and APU in itself, through their career office, do support you for your job hunting, and that is something definitely you should look forward to. So a key question that when I was preparing for this was requested by the career office from St. Thomas is, how did I balance my studies and sports and extracurricular activities? I think the key takeaway for all of you students who are in your A-levels, after your O-levels, is to understand that your academics is the most important one, is number one. Why I'm saying this, because I personally have represented my country. I have got colors in multiple sports, but nowhere in this world you'll get a scholarship for your sports unless you're extremely good, which is quite rare for Sri Lankans. So if you do want to get an opportunity or a scholarship, not just in Japan, but outside, if it's US or UK or Australia, academics is number one. And when I say academics, it's just not your final examination. It's not your A-level. Every term test is important because they check the transcripts. So if you if you don't do well in your first term, but you have 3 A's in your A-levels, they'll be wondering what went wrong. So it's important that you stay consistent and you focus on those stuff. Obviously, sports and extracurricular activities is very important. It's important to build your skill, your charisma, teamwork, and communication. But always remember, if you're an athlete, you are a student athlete. So academics come first. And I suggest and I strongly recommend all of you who are aiming to seek higher education abroad to focus on your academics and do well. Right. Devankar, do you want to add anything here, or you're good? Okay. Right. So preparation and execution. Few of the tips for all of you students who do want to pursue, if you want to come to APU or abroad, is number one, like I said before, is strong academic record. You need to have good A's or A2 or advanced level examination in order to get a scholarship. Next is effective time management. Why this is important is because you need to understand what you want to pursue and what you want to prioritize. A lot of students get it mixed up and they're not sure what they want to do. So I suggest that at a young age, you understand how to effectively manage your time, which will help you to become successful. Next is exams such as IELTS or SATs. If you do well, your chance of getting a scholarship is also higher. Extracurricular activities, it may be sports, it may be drama or any other clubs you're involved in, that's all completely fine. Language ability. If you do speak Japanese, it's obviously a plus point if you're applying for APU, but other languages also do help. And talking about more about soft skills, you need to be resilient, hardworking, and humble as well. So in order to execute this, why this is important is because personally, if you do come to a foreign country away from Sri Lanka, you need to understand that you start from zero. So you're not the person that you were in Sri Lanka. You need to start from rock bottom, and you need to be able to push yourself and have that never give up attitude. So for example, Devank and I, when we came to Japan, we didn't assume that we were the head prefect or the basketball vice captain or the colors and like, because they really don't care. You start your own life, you start a new life from zero. So it gives you an opportunity to be different, and you also need to adapt to various conditions. Last but not least, don't try to be average. Like everyone said before, pursue the opportunities that you have, and especially this opportunity. If you can come to APU, I think it will be great. This quote has been very close to my heart. I always keep this, and just to end it off, I want to state that St. Thomas College will never give you success. It will give you an opportunity to be successful. Focus on the opportunity. It is up to you whether you decide you want to grab it or whether you want to let it go. So this is the end of our presentation. These are our contact details. You can contact me and Devank through Facebook or through email, and hope to see some of you at APU. Thank you, and I'll pass it on to Aisan.
はい、ありがとうございます。
はい。
スポットライト追加。Thank you very much. So for those who are interested in contacting Ashain or Divanka, I also put in the chat box the Facebook and email address. Feel free to ask any questions if any. And also I will do it again, but sign up link for to get updates or more information about the APU. So if you're interested in, do sign up so that we can email you. All right. So before I go into the application process and schedule, I'll show you a short movie so that you can see the glimpse of APU. ちょっと待ってくださいね。日本語で言っても2人しかわかんないけど。ね。これで、EU 語。見えたら見えるってやってくれる？
見えます。
聞こえる？
聞こえます。
Okay.
Hey guys, this is 2018 Spring Entrance Ceremony, and I'm Saad.
And I'm Ruth from APU Student Social Media Unit, and today we're on a mission. Saad, what's the mission?
And the mission is to make friends from as many countries as we can.
And this semester we have students from 38 different countries joining us here at APU.
So let's wait no more and meet them.
Let's go. Like, why did you choose to study in Japan?
ラーメン一番好きですから。
Ramen?
ラーメン。
I like ramen too. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a...
that was the main reason I came here.
So guys, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Vivek Yogi and I'm from Nepal.
My name is Pradut and I'm from Nepal as well.
I'm from Rwanda, from Nigeria,
from Sri Lanka, from Korea,
I'm from Fiji,
From Russia.
From Canada.
from Azerbaijan,
from France,
from Finland, but I study in Norway,
The USA. Germany.
Uganda.
from Mongolia,
From India.
from Thailand, from Indonesia.
diversity. Like, yes, being able to meet a lot of people from different walks of life and backgrounds.
It is a very small place, but it's also very friendly, and you have everything you need in the around you.
And everyone is so friendly here. And so far I've found so many great people, so many friends.
Family here.
We're a family here. That's great.
It's pretty amazing. It's very different from home, but you really start to enjoy the culture.
First of all would be the culture, I guess. The people are really nice over here.
For me, it's also the same culture, and I really wanted to learn time management and business ethics from Japanese people.
I like to engage with Japanese culture much more in APU. Like I want to engage with the locals, not just international students. I want to engage in local cuisine, like local traditions, tea ceremonies, and etc.
It's so beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it here. I feel like at home. I don't see the like homesick. I don't. Yeah, me too. I feel like I'm at home.
Everybody's so friendly, everybody's so just lovely. Everything is lovely in Japan right now.
Well, it's a very multicultural community, so I aim to get a lot of friends here and make good relationships with people.
自分はパラリンピック障害者スポーツに興味あってパラリンピックとかそういうのをなんかサークルとかできたらいいなって思ってます。
I'm looking forward to very many involvement and to learn new things from APU.
So that brings us to the end of today's ceremony.
We hope you had a great time as we did,
And congratulations to all the new students.
and wish you all the best for your future.
All that's left to say is
Till
until
next
next
time.
time.
Thank you.
Hi. So this is APU. I hope you could get a glimpse of APU. Right now, I'll talk about the scholarship and the application process briefly. スライド出します。スライド見えますか？
はい、見えます。
OK です。はい。Right. So, as Ashin-san said, APU provides tuition reduction scholarship to international students. We are more generous to international students than Japanese students somehow. So this is the chart of the tuition. So if there's zero tuition reduction scholarship, the tuition itself will be around 11,000 US dollars. But if you receive, let's say, 65 tuition reduction scholarship, the tuition itself will be around 4,000 US dollars. And including other cost of living and etc., total cost for first year will be around 17,000 US dollars. So this is actually very reasonable compared to the university in Australia, the United States, Europe. Yes, and then like Ashin-san said, we highly evaluate your academic transcripts, English test score, your extracurricular activities, and the interview result. So you will have the interview when screening with APU professor and then APU staff like me. So what you say there, how you showcase yourself in the interview will be highly evaluated as well. And then I assume you guys have many experiences in sports, various extracurricular activities, and we are very interested in that. So please do show what you do right now. This also, as Shane-san just said, we are very active in exchange program in Georgia Tech, San Diego University, many famous university we have agreement with. And like he said, you don't need to pay to our partner university, even if you go there. You only pay to APU. So if you receive 65% of tuition reduction scholarship, for example, from APU, you only pay that amount to APU for 4 years, even if you go to the exchange program. Okay, so if you are thinking to apply for 2022 enrollment, we have 2 intakes in April and September. So for April 2022 enrollment, the application is now going on until October 13th. So it's currently going on, and then it's go until October 13th. Also in September 2022 enrollment will start this September 1st to February 9th. Just 4 periods, but basically from September 1st to February 9th. And if you can decide to apply to APU, I would recommend to apply earlier because simply we have more space for the tuition reduction scholarship. So earlier is higher chance to get the tuition reduction scholarship. These are the application documents. If you contact me or Mr. Harin later on, if you really decide to apply, I can explain again. But these are the online application documents you need to prepare. So basically, this process takes the longest. So preparing the documents, inputting your information will take your time. So be sure to have enough time for you to prepare. So the 4 essays, we will ask you to write about what you want to study at APU, etc. Your academic transcripts, we ask you to upload 1 letter of recommendation, language proficiency test score. If you have the high score, we highly evaluate. And application fee payment is around 5,500 Japanese yen, which is around $50 US dollars. And optional documents, extracurricular activities, report or certificate. So this is optional, but if you have the experience, do submit. And if you have the standardized test, that will be highly evaluated as well for the additional documents. Okay. So the process, we have 2 stages. The stage 1 is the online application, which I said, you upload the documents required, and online assessment. It will take around 1 hour. There's not much for you to prepare. It's to measure your core ability and critical thinking. That's the stage 1. And for stage 2, you have the interview with APU staff and faculty members, where you showcase why you choose to come to APU. And you will receive the final application along with scholarship results. So when you know the final application, if you passed or not, you also know the amount of scholarship results. So you can actually decide if you want to come to APU or not, knowing that how much tuition reduction scholarship you receive. Right, I think these are the things, the minimum English score. If IELTS, it's around 6.0, which I believe most of you will have. And because of the online, we are able to provide some online open campus, so online APU lectures for high school students. So on September 25th, we plan to have online open campus. That's 1-day program. You can experience APU campus tour and a workshop. And the second one in November, we will have APU virtual mini university program. So you can experience some lectures from College of International Management and the College of Asia Pacific Studies and Japanese language. So it's good to experience what kind of courses you can take in APU. So if you'd like more information about these things or other upcoming events, I put in the chat box. There's the sign up link. So please do sign up. It takes only 30 seconds. And that's the contact details. I will put it in the chat box later on, but this is my contact and then Dr. Harin's contact. If you really think to apply, please do contact us. I believe most of you are active on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you have the good cases on this as well, so do follow us if you're interested. That is from me. But since we have a little bit more time, I would like to ask Shane Divanka. I believe many Sri Lankan students choose to go to Australia or USA or UK. And why did you guys choose to come to Japan? And are you happy with that? Divanka-san, お願いします。
Yeah, I think for me, I think one thing that definitely helped me make a decision was the fact that it was offered, the relationship that APU has with St. Thomas's was definitely a key factor in me deciding to come to APU. But also my sister actually went to APU as well. So she graduated from here in 2018. So I was able to visit her for graduation and I got an opportunity to visit the campus. And because it was so like beautiful, I was just like, wow, this is definitely a place that I want to be at. And yeah, especially with the help of Miss Sonia also, it really made it possible for me. And that's definitely why I chose this campus, because there's a lot of great opportunity, there's a lot of beautiful aspects here in Japan, and yeah, that's why I chose it.
Arigato. And are you happy?
Yeah, I'm extremely happy.
In terms of me, I think first and foremost, Father Mark told me about this opportunity, and along with Miss Sonia and Mr. Harin, I got to know more about the university. So I think that was the initial stage. But also looking further apart, for example, like after graduation, if you're in States, for example, or UK, it's very hard to get jobs after your graduation. But the process in Japan, it's much easier. They do support a lot of international people to study in Japan. So I think that was one of the key takeaways from me to come to Japan, and also like, various other opportunities like tuition reduction, exchange, and all of them seem like a good option. So that's why I came to Japan, and I am very happy. No regrets so far. So yeah.
ありがとうございます。